Welcome back. The man at the centre of the sign language debacle at Madiba's memorial this week has been investigated for fraud amounting to 1.5 million rand. Johannesburg Thami Jantjie also has a history of violent behaviour. He's admitted that he regularly loses control during so-called schizophrenic episodes. He was employed as an interpreter for the Justice Department for 4 years.
It's no longer a question of a government. It's a question of how do we champion this problem of disability in South Africa. Will you live with a grant only? I've got kids, I've got family. They might say I'm mad, but I'm a man. I'm a provider. I'm a neighbor. I'm a friend. Then you can call me fake after then.
Well, let's have a chat with the reporter that conducted that interview, Karen Morn. She's on set with us here. Karen, some startling revelations.
Well, this story just gets more and more bizarre, sad, tragic and embarrassing for the South African government by the day. We now know that Mr. Jantjie was working as an interpreter at the Boksburg Magistrates Court, where he was under investigation for a 1.5 million rand fraud, allegedly because he made false claims for interpretation work that he hadn't done. Now, we are seeking comment from the Justice Department on this issue. They're saying to us that they are aware of the issue but are unable to comment at this point because they need to conduct a discussion with GCIS about this. We know that the Justice Department did institute an investigation, but at this point, Andrew, we have no idea why this alleged fraud was never taken to a criminal court.
We've also had some rumours circulating that he has some violent behaviour as well.
We know that court officials have sent letters to the Justice Department in the past, that one of the court officials in fact sent an entire history of her various interactions and unhappinesses with Mr. Jantjie to the Justice Department this morning. We know that he allegedly took a staff member hostage with a brick at one stage. That did not translate into criminal charges. We know that from speaking to some of the other interpreters that they were in fact, on their version, quite afraid of him, that he had a very erratic temper and that he would often threaten and physical violence against staff members. Now, we have tried to speak to the staff member who was allegedly held hostage by Mr. Jantjie. She says she is aware of the incident and she would love to talk to us, but she can't because she may lose her job if she comments on this publicly. But very much, very disturbing stories coming, Andrew. And the perspective here needs to be that this was an individual who on his own version has claimed to have lost control and was on stage with Barack Obama and a number of world leaders.
Well, that's what I'm about to ask you. It's staggering to think that he got so close to the most powerful man in the world and indeed our own president.
You know, there are very disturbing suggestions that there may have actually been other criminal investigations related to very serious murder charges in his past. We are trying to confirm that. We are trying to understand exactly what his history was. We know that there have been incidents in the past where, his mental status may have shielded him from future prosecution, but those issues have yet to be confirmed. The NPA at this stage not saying whether he can or they can confirm that he has ever been criminally charged for any matter. But this is immensely disturbing, particularly given that due security clearance should have been given to every single person that was on that stage. We know that this individual has used different surnames in the past. He uses the surname Jantjie and Jantjie, so one with a D, one without. That may have factored in, but at this point I think we should stress that government really needs to come out and concretely say how this person came to be on that stage, who is responsible, and what action will be taken to ensure that such a huge embarrassment never recurs.
Let's hope those questions are answered in the hours to come. Karen Morn, thank you for updating us on a story that South Africa will continue to talk about over the days and weeks to come.